今天会有8个国家
Italy,
Germany,
France, United States,
Australia,
Denmark.
Dubai.
嗨，大家好，我是欧阳力。我们现在在台北中间纪念堂呢。然后今天的影片会比较不一样呢，因为你们大家都知道，2020最大的事情就是武汉肺炎呢。然后台湾做的真的非常好，我们除了要戴口罩，然后常常量体温，比较不会碰到什么苦难。可是，在其他的国家我们比较不知道，所以今天的影片我会请在不同的国家、不同的朋友分享一下在他们的国家目前过得怎么样，然后他们会碰到什么苦难呢？等等呢，因为我们都会看到很可怕的数字，可是我们真的不太知道那在这些国家过得怎么样。好，那么现在开始。我在 YouTube 有碰到过一些影片，可是这些影片都是分享呢在台湾做的好不好，台湾目前过得怎么样。可是我们住在台湾，应该大家都知道，就是台湾做的非常好。可是我个人很好奇，那在其他的国家，他们目前情况是怎么样呢？因为我们会看到这些数字，可是比较不会知道他们过得怎么样。所以今天的影片我会带你们去不同的国家，今天总共会有8个国家，然后分享在这些8个国家目前过得怎么样呢？所以我们第一个国家想飞到澳洲。
My name is Genio and I'm from Indonesia. Currently I'm doing my master degree in Australia. So how is Australia right now? Australia is well into its second month of lockdown as low number of cases of infections. Some states have already begun to ease the physical distancing law, and while other states are still holding the firm. So we got 6,800 cases. From 24 March, Sydney was facing state 2 lockdown, and the National Cabinet decided to restrict this city even further, such as gyms, barbershop, amusement park, and the social distancing are applied until right now with only 2 people gathering, but we still can go out for only for essential purposes such as grocery shopping, exercises, and medical. Is there a lockdown or quarantine in Australia? Yes, Australia did their lockdown exactly 1.5 months ago. People who come to Australia need to self-isolate themselves for 14 days. Otherwise, if the police find out if you are not home, you will be fined 1,000 Australian dollars. So schools and universities are still remain closed, but the schools are expected to be open next week. And for university students, they are doing their study from home. Does anybody wear masks in Australia? I think, as I see on the street, most of them are not wearing masks, but most of Asian people, they are wearing masks. So what does the government do to prevent a virus spread? So by applying travel restriction and also by applying social distancing, and also they also do a screening to people who come to Australia, and also continuing to border surveillance.
Hello， 大家好，我是在骆驼国度杜拜工作的台湾人TingTing。杜拜现在跟大部分的国家一样，就是慢慢的有解封，不像4月一样就是封城的状况。那 mall 啊、商店啊、餐厅都陆续的开始营业，还有大众运输系统、公车啊、捷运也都开始运行了，大家都可以就是出去外面走走，宵禁也解了，只是因为就是杜拜的疫情其实比台湾严重还蛮多的，因为这里的感染人数其实是有破万的，不是像台湾一样这样少少的，所以就是政府就是强烈的要求大家出门的时候呢，一定要戴口罩，然后戴手套，保持社交距离。也由于就是因为疫情比较严重，所以大部分人都还是在家工作，所以基本上不会在路上看到很多的车子啊，或是人走来走去。那至于戴口罩部分，大部分的人出门几乎都是你可以看到他们戴口罩，当然也有少部分人是没有戴啦。可是因为你要进去 mall 进去商店超市，他都会要求你一定要就是戴口罩，所以基本上大部分人都还是有戴口罩的。 还有就是在搭小黄的时候啊，它现在只限制载2个人，而且你们一定要戴口罩，如果没有戴的话，它就是可以拒载你的。至于物资方面的话，因为我自己在这里的航空公司工作，我们的 cargo 其实没有停飞，它还是正常的运行的状况，所以就像我去超市啊，你会看到就是货架上的货物是充足，不是那种被扫光的情况。还有其实宅经济在这里也开始就是变得非常盛行，因为大家就是疫情的关系不想要出门嘛，就会就是宅配很多东西。
Hello from Denmark. So here in Denmark the corona situation is getting better. We shut down in the beginning of March, but we didn't have a complete lockdown like other countries. We were one of the first countries in Europe to actually do a kind of lockdown. So all schools was closed, a lot of business was closed, or people were told to work from home. And we got a lot of rules pretty fast that we could not gather more than 10 people. All the kind of events, everything was cancelled. So now after almost 2 months like this, the kindergartens has opened again. The hair salons has just opened, but I still didn't go because I want to wait a little bit, as I know the queue is really long, and I don't mind to wait since I'm also working from home and I don't go much out just to stay safe. The borders are closed to Germany and Sweden, so we are not really able to travel freely, but it seems like the curve is starting to tip in the right direction. Basically we have just been following standard procedures here, so washing our hands, keeping 2 meters social distance to people, and using a lot of hand sanitizer, but no masks. So this is very different from my experience in Taiwan, for example, where everybody's using masks. And I believe if we could have followed more the Taiwanese style and using masks, we could probably avoid shutting down so much business at the same time, because the economy is of course suffering from this. There's a lot of companies and business which went bankrupt, and a lot of people had lost their job, and that's despite of the fact that we have a lot of support from our government. They made a lot of financial packages to support everybody, but it's just not enough to cover everything. Denmark so far not too bad, and we can still go out and enjoy the beautiful scenery and the beautiful nature. So yeah, stay safe everyone, and we will get past this.
Hi Alex. So I'm here to report about coronavirus situation in France. The situation was like really hard because there were big misunderstandings between government and the people at the very beginning. So we didn't really know what we should do, whether the crisis was really dangerous or not, because at the beginning no one really knew. The lockdown is going to end on 11th of May. Masks are going to be mandatory. Schools are going to start to reopen. Universities are going to remain closed. We're going to do exams online. And pretty much everything is gonna start to go back to normal now. Everyone was working from home, and factories were closed for a certain time, but they're starting to reopen. When you're going into a simple bakery or in a bank now, you have all those systems where you have to go 3 people in maximum and then go out a certain way. There's a whole labyrinth into the bank or the store in general. The big grocery stores we have here, we have to go inside 1 person at a time, 1 person per wagon, per cart, let's say. Obviously more people can be in the store, but 1 person at a time can go in. To be honest, coronavirus for me personally has crushed a lot of my plans. I was looking forward to go to Taiwan this summer for doing my internship, but unfortunately I couldn't. I had to leave England to go back to my hometown in France. This situation is really hard, and in France, with 24,000 deaths, it's a bit horrible. I mean, one of the countries that were the most hit by this crisis, and it's kind of awful to live in that time. Right now I'm in my car because I've been asked by the police not to film outside and to go back home, because the paper that allows us to go outside for certain reasons, which is buying essentials. And it allows you, if you're going to buy essentials, to go outside for 1 hour maximum. And please guys, stay safe and healthy.
Hey, this is Marcel from Cologne in Germany, and right now we are having 160,000 corona cases. Per day we will get 1,200 new cases, but 4 weeks ago we had almost 8,000 new cases per day. So that's why the government decided to do the social distancing thing and to do the lockdown. That means like all the bars, restaurants, hotels, and big stores, big shopping malls, they had to close, and they are still closed. And you also have to do the social distancing. That means you can go outside alone or with your partner, like but if you are the group of 3 or more, then you are not allowed to meet or like to sit outside or something like that. But you can do sports outside. You can take a walk, you can do jogging, whatever you want. That's allowed. And since this week you have to wear a mask if you're entering a supermarket or a public building or if you're using the public transport. And that's a funny thing because Germans are not really used to wear masks. And it's so funny when I look outside and the people are like walking around, like, and you really can see in their eyes that they are not happy with wearing masks. But you have to do it. And schools or universities are closed as well. There's the online teaching part going on at some schools, some universities. There are big problems about like which system to use, and some universities are not very well equipped with technology in general, so this is a big hassle for them. Very tough time for everyone, but I think right now the situation is quite stable and it's getting better, and there's still the discussion going on if the restaurant should open soon or not. So fingers crossed the situation will be better in the near future.
Hi, my name is Paolo. I live in Verona in the north of Italy. And the situation here is not too bad right now. It's getting a lot better. Today is May 17th. It's a Sunday, and it's actually our last day of quarantine. Our quarantine lasted 2 months, more or less. It was very strict, so shops were closed. Only supermarkets were open. We could only go out to do our grocery shopping. To get food, so to get into the supermarket, you needed gloves and of course the face mask. For a month and a half, I would say, we could only go out to go to work and to do our grocery shopping. But actually in my region for the past couple of weeks, we've been able to go out and do some sport. So let's say jogging or walking, cycling, that was accepted in my region. Italy has 20 different regions, and right now we cannot go to other regions. We can go to other cities, but the city needs to be in our region. If everything goes according to plan, I think we'll be able to go to other regions in June. At the beginning, I think the virus took Italy by surprise. As you know, we were the first country in Europe heavily hit by the virus, especially in the north of Italy, which is where I live. Apart from the beginning, I think the government handled the situation pretty well. from a safety point of view. I don't think, though, that the government did a very good job from an economic point of view. In fact, a lot of small companies or restaurants or small shops, they didn't get a lot of help from the government, and I'm sure some of them closed down, unfortunately. People in Italy, well, at least in my region, I think they're doing a pretty good job. They are staying at home as much as they can, and they're wearing masks everywhere. During all this time, schools have been closed. Lessons are still happening online, so students can still follow the lessons. The problem is that a lot of parents still need to go to work, and they don't know where they can leave the kids. They cannot leave their kids on their own. So that is still a big problem, because schools will not reopen for this semester. In Italy, our long summer break is from June, so schools will actually open in September now. So this is the situation in Italy. Things are getting much, much better, but we are still not out of it, and the virus could come back, but let's hope for the best.
所以我现在在圣彼得堡，我们俄罗斯的疫情也算很严重。现在我走的是莫斯科大街，我们现在大概在全俄罗斯是超过35万确诊病例，然后我们现在隔离已经慢慢被就是取消，大概是6月初就会可以比较自由的走来走去，但是在街头上，在圣彼得堡可以不戴口罩，但是一旦你们进去某一个地铁站或者是任何公共场所，然后你们要进去地铁的时候，那些地铁警察会劝你们戴口罩，没办法不戴，不然就是你们试着前进，他们会罚你们大概4000、5000块5步这样。但是我知道的是，在莫斯科这个疫情比较严重，所以完全不可以就是不戴口罩，而且有的时候在一些地方你走到街头上，你会被逮捕，说就是打听为什么你在外面，要去哪个方向等等。在莫斯科有很多地方就是你甚至驾驶车子也需要有一个许可证，只是给警察看，然后这些许可证可以在线上申请。大概是6月初，这个隔离，居家隔离会被放松一些，因为我们普京总统希望我们6月24日，终于可以举行我们的阅兵。
Hi, my name is Steffi, and I'm going to be talking about my experience with the pandemic from San Diego, California of the United States. So we've been in quarantine for about 3 months now, so essentially only grocery stores and pharmacies have been open to the public until recently. But in the first month or so, there was definitely this panicked feeling when you would go grocery shopping. There would be shelves that were totally empty, and you would see people carts were filled. It was just scary. Toilet paper was nowhere to be found, and everywhere you looked somebody was wearing a mask, which I was really happy for. But because the whole mask thing isn't so common in the US as it is in other Asian countries, it almost felt like we were living in this apocalypse. But after being cooped up for a few months, businesses started to open up with new safety protocols. So there's non-contact services almost everywhere now. Employees have to stand at entrances of stores and keep count of the store capacity, and they enforce the masks. The weirdest non-contact service that I had gone through was taking my kitten to get spayed, and it was a drive-through service. So I waited in my car, handed my cat through the window, and then picked her up a few hours later, and I'm just really happy I got to experience that. It's definitely something I will never get to go through again. Aside from non-contact medical cat services, everything else kind of got converted online. So schools and universities were taught through Zoom for the spring, and we're supposed to continue this online education for the next few months. Sorority recruitment will be done through Zoom in the fall, and even doctor's appointments are done via video chat. In fact, I've been planning to get a tonsillectomy surgery for the last few months, but it turned out to be an elective surgery, and those were cancelled because the virus got kind of bad and it's dangerous to be inside a hospital if you don't need to be. So until further notice, my tonsils will stay inside my throat. But until then, I'm just staying at home and practicing social distancing, and I hope that everybody does the same and stays healthy and helps to stop the spread of the pandemic.
好，那么今天的影片应该到这边呢。我很久没有发过影片，因为一直在准备自制影片，因为真的花了蛮多时间，所以希望你们喜欢。然后你们如果想要看到更多国家的情况目前怎么样，你们也可以跟我说了，我会先在其他的国家朋友分享一下。我们住在台湾真的很幸运，因为我们这边的状况真的很好。也要谢谢今天的朋友分享一下他们的国家的状况，因为如果他们没有分享，我们不会有今天的影片。所以你们有兴趣的话，也可以追踪他们的 IG 或 YouTube 频道，链接我都会放在下面。好，那么下次见，拜拜。